Michael. Good morning, everyone. Excellencies, ministers, ambassadors, distinguished delegates of ICCO, Madam Chair, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the International Cocoa Organization, I would like to wish everyone here a very warm welcome to this, the first international conference on the cocoa market outlook. While the topic of this event is an intrinsic part of most meetings of ICCO, this is the first time that we're holding an international conference on the specific topic of cocoa market outlook. This is mainly because in the past few years, we have experienced a considerable increase in the number of requests for information or interviews to provide our views on the global cocoa market situation and its prospects. In addition, recently there has been several articles published in the press commenting on the prospects of cocoa availability to meet rising demand from consumers around the world. Increasing and improving market transparency, disseminating up-to-date and reliable market information are among the key mandates of the International Cocoa Organization, and more broadly, critical factors in ensuring a sustainable world cocoa economy. It is against this background that we decided to organize this conference, which aims to bring together recognized experts and analysts of the cocoa and chocolate market in order to receive and discuss their views. And what better time for such an event to take place than just before the start of a new cocoa season. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past, cocoa supply has been more or less in line with demand, with the market experiencing 5 years of surplus and 5 years of deficit. However, for the first time since the 1970s, perceived uncertainty about adequate supply of cocoa has raised concerns, particularly within the cocoa and chocolate industry. Productivity in the cocoa sector has not improved significantly over the years, and cocoa farming is not being seen as an attractive business proposition for the new generation of farmers, often enticed by life in urban areas when they do not turn to alternative crops such as rubber and palm oil, seen as more remunerative. This has been the case particularly in Asia, a region which was previously seen as a very promising origin for the supply of cocoa, but which now seems unable to live up to these expectations. As a consequence, the over-reliance on West Africa has been rising in recent years, putting the entire cocoa and chocolate industry at a potential risk. The Latin American region is experiencing a boom in cocoa production, mainly thanks to investors seeing cocoa as a great business opportunity, but also thanks to the high quality research that is being carried out in this region, leading to high yielding planting material. In general, the demand for cocoa and chocolate products has been expanding in new markets. New trends are developing, and traditional markets in developed countries are moving towards healthier and premium chocolate products. This accumulation of factors has led some analysts to make the prediction that the world may run out of cocoa in a few years' time, leaving chocolate consumers around the world confused. However, the International Cocoa Organization believes that there is no immediate cause for concern about the supply of cocoa over the next 5 years. Indeed, we believe that while there has been a tight relationship between supply and demand over the years, and while ICCO's projections show that supply deficits are likely to occur during the next 5 years, we believe that the stocks of cocoa beans currently available should cushion this development before production growth accelerates with current plantations being established throughout producing countries. In other words, we currently see no structural threat to the supply of cocoa for chocolate manufacturing. Many of the constraints identified in the cocoa sector, namely sustainability, productivity and quality improvement, management of cocoa pests and diseases, food safety issues, climate change, involvement of the youth in the cocoa sector, empowerment of women, and especially the increase in cocoa farmers' income, to name but a few. All these constraints lie at the heart of the work of the International Cocoa Organization, its member countries, and its partners worldwide. The ICCO Global Cocoa Agenda, adopted in November 2012 in Abidjan, seeks to address these serious issues. Ladies and gentlemen, I am certain that the speakers that we have today will help us to better understand these developments. And together, we can ensure that we will have a continuous and harmonious increase in production to meet the demand of cocoa, not only in terms of volume, but also in terms of quality. This development should inevitably be followed by an improvement in the living conditions of cocoa farmers around the world. Now, more than ever, there is no way in which the cocoa sector can attract and motivate young farmers and future cocoa farmers if this activity is not perceived as remunerative enough. This means that the concept of fair price, as indicated in the International Cocoa Agreement, has to be given some substance. It is the subject of interpretation, we know, and work is still ongoing within the ICCO circles, but it is nevertheless a challenge that we must tackle head-on. We are therefore hoping to use the opportunity of this conference to hear about the significant changes and challenges that are occurring in the cocoa trade, processing, and manufacturing industry, but also on the cocoa futures market. The conference today is divided into 5 parts. After an overview of global supply and demand for cocoa, we will cover the supply outlook and the economics of cocoa farming. This will be followed by cocoa price development and future markets, and we will also cover the economics of cocoa processing and manufacturing. We will end with an in-depth review of the chocolate market in its diversity and dynamism. It certainly promises to be a very exciting day, and I, for one, look forward to very stimulating, even at times controversial debates. Before concluding, I would like to express our gratitude to all the speakers who are going to take the floor today. You are the best experts that we could identify. You are among the most knowledgeable people on this topic, and we really appreciate that you've taken the time to attend this event and impart with your knowledge. A particular thank you would go to you, Judith, as moderator of this session, for accepting our offer to chair this conference. I am certain that you are the best person to handle the speakers that will be taking the floor today. Let me conclude by extending a very warm invitation to you all to the next World Cocoa Conference, which will take place from the 22nd to the 25th of May 2016 in the Dominican Republic. We expect the third World Cocoa Conference to be the largest and the most well-attended event in the cocoa world. The main objective of the conference will be to review the progress achieved by the previous two conferences in Abidjan and in Amsterdam, leading to a review of the implementation of the Global Cocoa Agenda. We also intend to review recent developments that would help in implementing the roadmap that we have agreed in Amsterdam. And the title for the third World Cocoa Conference is Building Bridges Between Producers and Consumers. On this note, I wish you all a very fruitful seminar and a delightful stay in London for those who are visiting. I thank you for your kind attention.